Hey Warriors fans, buckle up, because the upcoming season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and the questions surrounding the roster are only heating up. The spotlight is firmly on Jonathan Kuminga, whose future with the team has been a topic of endless debate and speculation. As his restricted free agency unfolds, there's a palpable tension about what his role will be once he's back in Golden State colors. On paper, the options seem straightforward, but the nuances make all the difference. The Warriors have put forward a 2-year, $45 million offer that comes with a team option, carrying a no-trade clause. But there's a catch. The no-trade clause only applies if Kuminga agrees to the contract as structured. He could, of course, push back by opting for the qualifying offer, which is roughly $8 million and comes with an automatic no-trade clause. That scenario would see him essentially sitting out and operating as a lame duck player until unrestricted free agency opens up next season. The entire situation reads like a chess match, with each side weighing leverage, future flexibility, and immediate impact. Golden State knows the value Kuminga brings, both on and off the court, but there's also an understanding that simply giving him whatever he wants without some compromise might not serve the team in the long run. From Kuminga's perspective, he's not just thinking about the immediate paycheck. He's thinking about the opportunity to define his role, to play meaningful minutes, and to shape how the team operates around him. Steve Kerr, as always, faces a delicate balancing act. The challenge isn't just keeping Kuminga happy. It's also optimizing a lineup that can still function at an elite level with the players the Warriors already have committed to high usage minutes. Kerr has hinted at experimenting with the roster at the start of the season, possibly running a 4-man core featuring Steph Curry, Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. The idea is to see how the lineup clicks when those key pieces are on the floor together, but there are obvious complications. Butler isn't a 2-guard, Kuminga isn't a 2 either, and Draymond's versatility means he can slide to the bench in certain configurations, but it changes the defensive and offensive balance. Adding someone like Al Horford at center could provide the spacing and floor stretching that the Warriors need, but it also creates questions about rotation minutes and how the bench gets structured around the main stars. Kuminga's future role is further complicated by the fact that the Warriors' roster isn't as deep or as flexible as in some past championship runs. While Curry, Butler, and Draymond can carry substantial load, the supporting cast beyond them is less proven. Players like Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, and Jonathan Kuminga himself need to find minutes in the rotation without disrupting the flow of the team. Kerr's approach has always been to experiment early in the season, testing combinations and assessing matchups, which means Kuminga could start as a super sub, coming off the bench to give energy and scoring punch, or he could be thrust into a starting role, depending on how contract negotiations resolve. Beyond Kuminga, Jimmy Butler's condition and consistency are under the microscope. Butler arrived in Golden State as a high-impact addition, but the playoffs last season exposed vulnerabilities, particularly when injuries struck. A pelvic contusion and subsequent limitations against the Minnesota series left him visibly hobbled at times. At 36, Butler isn't getting younger, and the demands of an 82-game season, coupled with the rigors of Western Conference competition, will test his durability. However, Butler's intelligence on the court allows him to maximize impact even without relying solely on athleticism. His ability to read defenses, manipulate positioning, and create scoring opportunities is elite, and while he may not play every game or chase individual accolades, his leadership and skill set remain vital to Golden State's ambitions. The frontcourt also presents a critical puzzle. Al Horford is projected to start at center, bringing veteran savvy, spacing, and defensive reliability. Horford's presence could transform the Warriors' interior game, particularly when combined with the versatility of Draymond Green. Quentin Post will likely see increased minutes, but the depth behind Horford is less than ideal. If injuries strike or performance dips, Golden State could find itself scrambling to fill big man minutes, and that could impact the team's ability to maintain elite defensive rotations late in games. Kerr will need to balance minutes carefully, preserve key players, and ensure that the bench can contribute meaningfully without disrupting chemistry. Rotation planning will be one of the most fascinating aspects to watch as the season begins. While the top 5 players are expected to log 30-plus minutes per game, there's a logjam of guards and wings vying for consistent playing time. Steph Curry's presence as a floor general ensures the team can run offensive sets efficiently, but distributing minutes to Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II, Moses Moody, and others without sacrificing performance is a challenge. Similarly, the wings, including Kuminga and Butler, will see their minutes and roles fluctuate depending on matchups, health, and Kerr's evolving strategic vision. The ability to integrate these pieces seamlessly will likely determine whether Golden State can contend with the increasingly competitive landscape of the Western Conference. Then there's the ultimate question hovering over everything. Can Steph Curry once again carry this team to the NBA Finals? Curry remains one of the most consistent offensive threats in the league, capable of single-handedly altering the flow of a game with his shooting, movement, and court vision. Yet the supporting cast, while talented, faces age, health concerns, and relative depth limitations compared to rising Western Conference powerhouses. Teams like Denver, Houston, Oklahoma City, and the Clippers have bolstered their rosters, and the margin for error for Golden State is thinner than ever. Curry's ability to elevate his teammates, manage minutes strategically, and sustain elite performance over a grueling season will be pivotal. The Warriors' chances hinge on a delicate interplay of star performance, roster flexibility, and Kerr's strategic ingenuity. As the preseason approaches, every practice, every minute of scrimmage, and every lineup experiment will carry extra significance. Kuminga's contract resolution, Butler's health, Horford's adaptation to the floor spacing role, and the integration of younger contributors like Moses Moody will collectively shape Golden State's trajectory. The interplay of these elements creates a narrative that is both thrilling and precarious, with the potential for spectacular synergy or challenging missteps. Warriors fans should brace for a season defined as much by strategy and adaptation as by raw talent, where the balance between experience and emerging potential could decide the team's fate in the Western Conference. As the season unfolds, one of the most intriguing storylines will be how Jonathan Kuminga's presence reshapes the Warriors' lineup and rotation. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, his versatility opens up a wealth of strategic possibilities for Steve Kerr. There's a constant tension between maximizing his minutes and ensuring that other stars like Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green remain effective throughout the season. Kuminga has the ability to stretch defenses, drive to the rim, and operate as a high-efficiency scorer, but fitting him seamlessly alongside Butler, who thrives as both a facilitator and a scorer, requires careful choreography. Kerr's coaching acumen will be tested like never before because integrating multiple high-usage players demands not just talent, but precision timing, defensive discipline, and adaptability. The Warriors' success may ultimately hinge on their ability to experiment early in the season, discovering combinations that maximize spacing without compromising defensive integrity. Draymond Green remains a cornerstone of the team's defensive schemes and floor leadership, but his minutes at center versus power forward will continue to spark debate. With Horford occupying the center position, Draymond can slide to small ball 5 in certain situations, but that requires meticulous rotation planning. The balance of energy, defensive coverage, and matchup advantages becomes even more critical as the season progresses. Draymond's communication skills and ability to read the floor make him an indispensable element in any configuration, but the Warriors will need to carefully monitor his load to avoid fatigue and ensure peak performance during pivotal games. The depth behind these starters is thin, and while players like Quentin Post and Moses Moody have shown promise, the margin for error is slim. Every lineup tweak has cascading effects, impacting spacing, defensive rotations, and the team's overall offensive rhythm. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler's role will demand attention from both coaching and management perspectives. Butler's skill set, which combines elite two-way play with high basketball IQ, makes him one of the most reliable contributors on the court. Yet his age and the cumulative toll of a long NBA career cannot be ignored. Kerr and the Warriors' medical staff must navigate the fine line between utilizing Butler to his full potential and preserving him for critical stretches, particularly as the postseason approaches. Butler's ability to generate points, control pace, and make clutch defensive plays is invaluable, but managing his minutes strategically could be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. His partnership with Curry is central to the Warriors' offensive schemes. Both players must harmonize their styles to maintain spacing, ball movement, and efficiency, while also ensuring that Kuminga and other emerging talents are integrated effectively. Al Horford's role as a floor-stretching center offers a significant strategic advantage, particularly in modern NBA lineups that prioritize spacing and perimeter shooting. Horford's ability to hit threes consistently, protect the rim, and facilitate ball movement from the high post positions him as a key contributor on both ends of the floor. Yet, his age and gradual decline in mobility require careful minute management. Horford will need rest periods, and Kerr must strategically deploy him to ensure that he remains effective during crucial stretches. The supporting cast behind him, including Quentin Post and Trace Jackson-Davis, will need to step up to absorb minutes and maintain defensive coverage. Any lapse in production or spacing could disrupt the team's rhythm, making Horford's durability and efficiency critical to the Warriors' season objectives. As the season progresses, the question of whether Golden State can remain competitive in the increasingly stacked Western Conference looms large. Teams like the Denver Nuggets, Houston Rockets with new additions, and a healthy Oklahoma City Thunder roster create a gauntlet of challenges. The Warriors' ability to navigate these matchups depends not just on individual talent, but also on cohesion, adaptability, and strategic innovation. Kerr's rotation decisions, particularly in managing star minutes, balancing offensive flow, and maintaining defensive integrity, will be pivotal. The Warriors must integrate emerging talents while maximizing the production of their veteran core, creating a delicate equilibrium that could define their trajectory in both the regular season and the playoffs. Steph Curry, as always, remains the fulcrum of the team's potential success. His shooting, playmaking, and leadership anchor the Warriors' offense, but his effectiveness is intertwined with how well the supporting cast can complement his game. Curry's ability to create off-ball movement, generate scoring opportunities, and exploit defensive mismatches will be crucial. Yet he cannot carry the load alone in a Western Conference that is deeper and more competitive than ever. The synergy between Curry, Butler, Kuminga, and Draymond will dictate the Warriors' ceiling, while the rotation and bench contributions will determine whether the team can withstand the rigors of a full season and make a legitimate playoff push. The Warriors' depth chart, particularly in the guard and wing positions, adds another layer of complexity. Gary Payton II, Moses Moody, and other rotational players provide defensive energy and scoring bursts, but integrating them without disrupting the rhythm of the starters requires careful planning. Kerr has historically favored early experimentation to find the optimal combinations, and this season will likely follow the same pattern. Finding minutes for Buddy Hield, GP2, and emerging wings while maintaining cohesion and maximizing offensive efficiency is a delicate task. The distribution of responsibilities, whether through starter minutes, bench scoring, or defensive rotations, will have ripple effects throughout the team's performance, making every decision critical. As the season advances, mid-season adjustments, trade possibilities, and injury management will play central roles in shaping Golden State's fortunes. Kuminga's contract situation could influence trade flexibility, while Butler's health and efficiency may dictate whether the team leans on him more heavily or balances minutes across the roster. Horford's consistency at center, Draymond's defensive positioning, and Curry's offensive orchestration all combine to create a complex puzzle that Steve Kerr must navigate meticulously. The Western Conference's competitive landscape leaves little room for error, and every decision, whether in rotations, minutes, or strategic adjustments, will carry heightened significance. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The buzz around the NBA is getting louder by the day, and at the center of this storm of speculation stands a name that instantly ignites curiosity: Malik Monk. The whispers coming from the Bay Area suggest that the Golden State Warriors, never a franchise afraid of bold offensive moves, are preparing to unleash a new wave of firepower by bringing Monk into their already electrifying system. This is not yet an official announcement, but insiders, league observers, and those who claim to have seen early signs insist the move is imminent. The rumor is that the Warriors, long known for their devastating ball movement and three-point artistry, are positioning Monk as their latest weapon to detonate opposing defenses. Imagine, if you will, a shooter of Monk's caliber catching passes from Stephen Curry or feeding off the gravitational pull of Klay Thompson. Suddenly, the thought of defending Golden State becomes a nightmare scenario for rivals. Coaches are already said to be revising their defensive schemes, quietly wondering how many rotations and double teams it would take to contain not 2 or 3 sharpshooters, but potentially a lethal quartet. The chatter is deafening, and it feels like the entire league is bracing for impact. As the rumor mill spins faster, the conversation expands beyond the court into the psychology of the Warriors' identity. For years, Golden State has thrived on a combination of precision shooting, unselfish passing, and relentless pace, making them one of the most feared offensive machines in basketball history. Now, with Monk's explosive scoring ability in the mix, observers are speculating whether we are about to witness an evolution of the Warriors' philosophy. It's one thing to prepare for Curry running off screens or Thompson punishing you from the corners. It's another to add a dynamic guard who thrives on both catch-and-shoot opportunities and slashing drives to the rim. Opponents who already struggled to choose their poison may now find themselves suffocating under a wave of options that feel impossible to defend simultaneously. The rumors suggest that Golden State envisions Monk as not just a scorer, but also a spark who can keep second units alive, bridging the gap when the stars rest. Could this be the Warriors' answer to the fatigue of aging legs and the grind of an 82-game season? The speculation grows richer with each passing hour, as analysts debate whether this addition could extend the dynasty or create a brand new chapter. There is also the cultural fit to consider, and here the whispers are just as intriguing. The Warriors have built more than a roster. They have crafted an environment where players flourish by embracing creativity, freedom, and trust in one another. Those close to Monk hint that he has long admired the Warriors' style, even imagining how his game might mesh with their free-flowing system. If this rumor proves true, the chemistry could be electric. Players like Draymond Green, who thrive on finding teammates in rhythm, could discover a new favorite target in Monk, whose confidence to let it fly matches Golden State's identity. The chatter also includes the idea that Curry himself quietly welcomed the notion of adding another perimeter threat, knowing that more firepower means more space to operate. But, as always, speculation carries the weight of doubt. Some skeptics wonder whether Monk's tendency to dominate possessions might clash with the Warriors' rhythm. Yet the stronger narrative suggests that in the Warriors' system, his aggression would be harnessed rather than stifled, transforming potential friction into creative sparks. The possibility of Monk celebrating threes with the Chase Center crowd is quickly becoming the league's most tantalizing daydream. And then there's the matter of timing, which makes the whispers feel even more dramatic. The Warriors are not in the same place they were 5 years ago, when their dynasty felt untouchable. Questions about age, injuries, and the sustainability of their core have haunted them, and rival teams have grown bolder. The suggestion of adding Monk feels like a statement, an intent to reload rather than rebuild. If the rumor proves correct, it would be a sign that Golden State is unwilling to drift quietly into the background of the Western Conference. Instead, they would be doubling down on what made them dangerous in the first place: relentless offense that overwhelms even the most disciplined defenses. It's the sort of calculated risk that could redefine their trajectory. Sources close to the situation claim that the Warriors see Monk as a bridge between generations, a player who can carry the offensive load now and potentially transition into a central figure as the team reshapes itself. With the NBA landscape in constant flux, a move like this could change the balance of power overnight. Rival executives are already said to be on edge, watching every development with clenched jaws. For now, all of this remains in the realm of rumor. But what makes it so captivating is the plausibility. Malik Monk to the Warriors is not the kind of wild fantasy that can be dismissed with a laugh. It's a storyline that checks too many boxes, both on the court and off. The potential for fireworks is real, the anticipation thick, and the narrative writes itself. A team renowned for revolutionizing basketball seeks to add yet another layer of unpredictability, while a player known for scoring explosions finds a stage built for spectacular performances. Whether the deal is days away, weeks away, or perhaps just the dream of hopeful fans, the murmur has already created waves across the league. In bars, online forums, and sports talk shows, the conversation is alive. What would Monk in a Warriors jersey look like? And how many points per game could this lineup truly average? Until confirmation arrives, all we have is the suspense, the echo of whispers that refuse to fade, and the delicious thought of a Golden State offense with one more bomb waiting to detonate. The rumor feels almost too perfect, but sometimes in basketball, the impossible becomes reality. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video,